What's up guys, this is Jacek Sputnik here, and today I want to show you natural light portrait photography. I want to invite you to my town, to Faro, and I will show you step by step how to boost your portrait photography using simple tricks, okay? So come on and follow me. For portrait photography, we'll be using a classic setup, so a full frame camera, in this case a Sony camera, and 85mm 1.8 lens. This is not a super expensive lens, this is not a super cheap lens, this is just very good lens for portrait photography. So if you want to advance your portrait photography, and whatever brand you're using, if it's Nikon or Canon or Olympus or whatever, there are cheap portrait lenses out there that will just produce great results. So that we are on the same page, I will be using this camera, and I guess since you are interested in portrait photography, you already know some basics, but I just want to guide you step by step how to achieve the same results that we'll be achieving very soon with our model Adriana. So in this case, I will be using semi-automatic mode, so aperture priority mode. And I love this mode because, like, in most cases it works just right for me, but you may want to switch to manual mode. I use mainly automatic modes, semi-automatic mode, so aperture priority mode. Oh man, it's so hard to pronounce, okay? Then I will be overexposing, so here EV I will have plus 0.7, so I have it overexposed by 0.7 f-stop, and then we'll be shooting everything on f1.8 to make it simple and sweet, because we want this creamy bokeh, we want blurred background, we want face to be sharp and background to be blurred. And in this tutorial, as a very important disclaimer out of the gate, I will be talking more about working with your model and achieving great results in portrait photography in natural light, no flashes, no nothing, using natural reflectors, using like right direction of the light, and working with your model more than technicalities, which are not that important, because actually with what I said about this 1.8, overexposed by 0.7, semi-automatic mode, and aperture priority mode, this is pretty much it. And there are only like little things, like if you want to use autofocus single or continuous, if you want a zone autofocus or spot autofocus, that really depends on you and your working style. So for me, I will be using, in this case, spot autofocus, just to make it easy for everyone. So I'm just focusing on the face. I have like spots set to the face, and I will be using continuous autofocus, so to have all frames sharp. But very important, not every camera does give you a great continuous autofocus, so if your is not equipped with good one, you will have to stay with more static shots and rely on single autofocus. In my case, I like continuous because Sony cameras, they are great with continuous autofocus. So when your model moves, autofocus will move with model, with her face in this case. It's like 2 p.m, it's a super sunny day in South Portugal, so it's very bright, but still you can get some awesome results using the light in the right way, okay? So let me show you a couple of scenarios, and let me show you how to work with model, all right? Come on, follow me. Tip number one, and as I said before, we are shooting in full sunlight. It's not easy because like harsh shadows doesn't serve, portraits very well. So we have some shade here, and I placed her in the middle of the street, or not maybe in the middle, but not too close to the wall, so that the background behind can be blurred. And as I'm taking photos, take a look at how I'm working with model, how I'm like asking model to do different things to achieve the effects, to get out some personality out of the person, okay? So let's get to work, all right? Okay, can you step back a little bit? Passo atrás, passo atrás, passo atrás, ok? Tá perfeito. Ok. E consegues brincar com teus cabelos, sim? Ok. Maravilha. So as you see, there are simple tricks, like for example, close your eyes and open your eyes to relax the muscles. You cannot ask your model to keep smiling all the time. This will not work great with portraiture because like after a while your model will be just tired and expressions on the face will not be natural. So this is something you want to keep in mind definitely when you are taking portrait photography. And like this scenario always works. Work with your model. Ask her to or him to close eyes, to lift head, to bow head down, to step back, to step front, not just do the same thing over and over and thinking that you will get great portraits. Okay, now let's change scenario and let's see how you can work in full sun with sun in the back. This is another scenario that always works. Okay, so let's take a look at this scenario. Come on. Second scenario is, as I said before, shooting against the light. So it's what time is it? It's 3:30 p.m. So the sun is still pretty high, but you can get scenario where you can get your portraits done with sun behind the model, and this is always great option to shoot. So let's take a look. I'm at f1.8 and let's try to get some good shots right now, okay? So first, okay, I'm gonna get lower a little bit. Ok. Um bocadinho atrás, obrigado. Okay, so we got some great shots here with backlight. We will now take a look. We will go to the studio. We will develop these pictures, correct it a little bit because we are shooting in RAW with plus JPEG files just in case. But this is scenario that always works. So first, shade. Second, with sun in the back. Oh, the wind is getting really heavy here. With light in the back. And never forget to work with your model, to ask your model to step back, to maybe lower your perspective as I did to have eye level of the model. So there are some things that you can observe here to boost your portrait photography. Okay, now scenario number 3, okay? So come on and follow me. Third scenario is take your model close to a natural reflector. So you didn't take your, reflector, you don't have assistant with you. So the thing that you can do to take great portraits, take your model to shade, but place him or her close to, for example, white wall, like we will do right now, and you will get some extra light and some beautiful results. So take a look as I'm doing it, and then we'll see the results, okay? Ok. Agora podes ir um bocadinho atrás. Mais. Ok, está suficiente. Perfeito. Podes fazer com... Now we have to go to the studio and see how these photos came up, but this is like 100% sure. If you take your model to shade, if you have sun as a backlight, or if you have natural source of light like white walls, this is just perfect. Now as a bonus, we will take you to 4th place and show you 4th scenario. It's not that much about light, like being creative with your model. So something a little bit more about posing, okay? So let's go and we will change the street and maybe we will not hear this, grinder there, okay? So come on with me. Okay, here's the 3rd scenario. You can see my son, he's trying to become a model, I think, now. And the 3rd scenario is just pretty much the same thing. So we have our model in shade, and the only thing we change is that she's not standing, she's sitting, and we want to show a little bit of environment, though most of the background will still be blurred. But this is one of the scenarios I like as a creative scenario. And we need to let the car pass. So see you after the break, okay? So once again, I'm at f1.8, I'm at ISO 100, which I didn't mention before because it's very bright everywhere and I don't need to have like any higher ISO. So let's try a couple of shots now with my son because he's there, okay? We need to let another car pass, so see you after another break. So being creative with your model is one of the key things to improve your portrait photography. And this last scenario that we will show you today is all about sitting, and not sitting, but about finding different poses that can create an interesting effect, and also not only focusing on the face, but sometimes you want to show a little bit of environment. So let's shoot a couple of pictures and see how it goes, okay? All right, very good. Now let's try some low angle. Ok. Can you look up? Podes ver acima? Olhar para cima? Ok. Amazing. Maravilha. Ok, para mim agora. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We had 4 scenarios that we could try, and as you see, you can get amazing results having just your camera and like simple portrait lens. And very important disclaimer, if you have a better lens, obviously like 1.4 or 1.2, you can of course open your aperture and have even more creamy bokeh. But what I want to show always in my tutorials is that you don't have to have crazy expensive lenses, crazy expensive cameras to get some awesome results. For that shoot, we've been using Sony a7 I. We're shooting now with Sony a7 III, and of course it's better, the autofocus system is better and everything, but still you can get awesome results with this guy. Even if you're using Canon 5D Mark III or even Mark II, you can get beautiful portraits just having simple portrait lens. So once again, to recap, I was using this camera with 1.8 f-stop on autofocus, continuous, and I was using ISO 100, and I had it on A mode, which is aperture priority mode, and I was overexposing most of those shots 0.7. So those are settings I use. Let me know in comments below if there are other settings I should consider as to-go settings for portrait photography, or you have another experiences with portrait photography. And also let me show in comments below what kind of tutorials would you like to see in the future on Jack Sputnik channel. So once again, this is Jack Sputnik, straight from old town of Faro, and I see you guys, of course, in the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe here, okay? I will check it if you subscribe. I will check it. All right, see you. And man, where are my manners? Like, I forgot to say thank you to Adriana, to my friend's Andrea wife, okay? So, obrigado.